stabilize that industry in particular. And Abe, I was wondering if you can chime in here, and because she talked about that access issue and that road issue and those who are giving special care to particular communities. So would you mind providing some additional insight?
Sure. I think to April's many really good points. One of the things that really struck me is if we look back to the beginning of the pandemic in the United States, because it started elsewhere, we saw it coming. It was kind of a wave and it's coming towards us. But if you remember the beginning of the pandemic, we saw a cruise ship roll up on Seattle, and we knew there were some sick people on that cruise ship. If we had the right systems in place at that time, think of the awesome things that we would have done. We would have saved lives in nursing homes. We would have saved a lot of the spread, maybe not all of it, but if we had been able to, and I'm not just saying this one cruise ship, I mean, just in general, if we knew this was coming as a population, we could have been proactive instead of reactive. And the technology is there. You know, we can be proactive now. We know enough about this disease after a year and a half and trillions of dollars of research. This is like none other. And anybody who wants to argue about everything was done too quick, how do you know? Well, everything was done quickly, but also every resource in the world was pointed at this one thing. That's why it was done quickly. Typically in research, you get $8 and that should last you a year. You don't get much research done. But when you have trillions of dollars flowing, things happen faster. And so now we're ahead. Now we know more or less what's going to happen. We at least have a good idea. And now is the time to get in front of it and stay in front of it. That's the big part of this, because to Scott's point earlier, the minute we relax, we see what happens. It just takes one, and this is with a less mean variant, if you will, the first one that we saw. It just took one person to get everybody sick. And now we have a much worse mutant and many more coming, as to Dora's point. If we let our guard down, we're going to see it go. And we saw that with mask mandates. As they got pulled down, numbers went up, hospitalizations went up. There is a time and a place, but you need to have the systems in place to be able to monitor, to be able to act quickly, to make the right decisions in real time. Because if you make the right decisions in real time, yeah, you might have one case or two cases, but then it's squashed in your organization, be it a school or a dorm, or that bus that you knew there was somebody sick on there and there was a flag. You can follow those people in real time, let them know, hey, stay home, and you minimize the spread. You never get to that place where everybody's overwhelmed, everybody's hating life, everybody's at home, nobody wants to wear a mask, but they know they have to. You know, all of those things, we can get ahead of that. And that's really, I think, the point that we all need to do across all of these different areas and verticals that we're talking about is, how do we get ahead? Well, I think we do get ahead with technology at this point, because we know how to predict things. We have predictive models. We can really get there. But if we keep waiting and we keep being reactive, it's like trying to fix a disease after you already have the disease. Sorry, you should have been exercising. You should have been watching what you put in your mouth. You should have not been drinking 12 Cokes a day. You know, that's the other side of it. It's hard to fix things once they're there. But if we get ahead of them, they never show up. And then the naysayers will say, well, you were all wrong. That never actually happened. Well, there's a reason that didn't happen. It's because we did things right. And that's where we are now. We need to get ahead of it.